Let's see.
All right. Welcome everyone to this first Monday night in 2025. We are so excited to have you here. We're excited about what's coming this year, and we're excited about the testimonies that we have tonight to share with you. And I know you're going to want to share people with people that you love when this recording comes up. But first, I'm going to have Dr. Stan, my lovely co-host, to come over here and do a little disclaimer.
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. So great to see each and every one of you on here. Going to have some exciting testimonies, and you're going to hear some miraculous things. And we just have to tell you, though, we're not medical doctors. We do not prescribe, diagnose, or treat any medical condition, even if you're pregnant, nursing. If you've got a medical question, go to your medical doctor. We're just offering education of some marvelous products that can change your life naturally. All right, Jody, let's hear from these folks.
All righty. So excited. Okay, so our first guest is my friend Cindy Morrow. I met Cindy a couple months ago when I started hearing about her wonderful testimony. And then we happened to be on a group Zoom last night, and she was just giving thanks for this technology and how much it's changed her life. And I'm like, oh, why don't you come on to share that tomorrow night? Because Alicia was busy. And so, Cindy, tell everybody where you're from, how long you've been patching, and what was going on before you started.
Hi, I'm Cindy Morrow from Atlanta, well, from Noonan, Georgia. And I've been patching since August 1st. And what I started with was I was diagnosed with stage 3 liver disease, which is non-alcoholic fatty liver. And that was about 2 years ago. And so the doctor had been working with me. I had a liver specialist, and I still do, that I work with, and everything. And so he prescribed me some medication, but I was so miserable. And just the medicine that they have me on is so nauseating. It's ridiculous. Nobody should have to go through that. But the good thing is that I spoke to my friend Angela Smith, Butler Smith, and she was telling me about the patches and what it had done for her mother. And I was like, well, tell me more. And so after I got off the phone with her, I went ahead and signed up and started patching. And I went to my doctor for a follow-up in November. And I no longer have stage 3 liver disease. It is a big fat egg 0. I was amazed. I was hoping to go down to a 2, and then the technician, she said, take a picture of this because it is showing that you have you're no longer stage 3, you're stage 0. So yeah, with it,
just 3 months or 4 months?
No, that was the 6 months. That was a 6-month checkup with him.
Yes, but you'd only been patching for about 3 months, right? Because you started
about 4. I started in August, 1st of August.
September, October, November.
November, middle of November.
Awesome.
So yeah, and when I had, I was really concerned, and I asked him about the patches, and he said, well, I don't know anything about them. He said, but I do know that it won't interfere with your medication. So if you want to try it, try it. I said, well, I'm game. I'm going to do it. So I started off with the Ion and the X39 patch. Mm-hmm. And then I was still having some nausea and things going on like that from the medication that I'm on. And so I went ahead and I read about the glutathione. So I added the glutathione in 30 days in. And oh my God, 3 days out, I was no longer having nausea. I could sit up and do my work because I would miss work because I was so nauseous. I just couldn't sit and do my work. Yeah, it was atrocious, but no longer having those issues going on. Like I said, I'm no longer stage 3, I'm 0. And also I had scarring in there, which is cirrhosis, because stage 4 is non-reversible. And so then I would have to be set up for a liver transplant. at
Now,
that point.
what were your numbers? What was your number when you were stage 3?
When I was stage 3, my number was 289.
Mm-hmm.
At 0, it's 211.
Wow.
Yeah. And the scarring that I had, which meant nothing was actually passing through my liver, it was just really kind of staying in my body, and the food was just rotting, if you think about that. But my my number for the scarring was 12.55. And then it went down to 9.5.
Wow.
And 9.8 is low. So I'm actually below being low. So I'm no longer, the scarring's no longer there. Everything's able to work. The liver's functioning. I have managed to drop from 244. I weighed myself today. I'm 175.
Wow, that's awesome, girl.
Yes, definitely.
Your liver is regenerating itself. And guys,
it is.
if you didn't know, the liver is one organ that regenerates itself, or can, if you give it the right tools, more than any other organ. And everything you eat has to be processed through your liver. So that's why, Cindy was talking about, you have all that scarring and your liver can't work and it can't process the molecules that go through there from your food. But that is awesome. So what did your liver specialist say?
Well, he has 500 patients that he has on this program. It's a medical regimen that we're on. And he told me, he said, I don't know what you're doing, but keep it up. He said, because whatever it is, it's working. And I said, well, out of your 500, how many have turned around as fast as me? And he said, you're it, girl. So I get to go see his PA in May, so I don't have to see him. So I get to see her in May. They have lowered my medication dosage, so that's good. And hopefully, my goal is to get off of it. I've managed to, within the 3 months of patching, I've managed to come off. I was on 8 different medications. I'm down to 4.
Wow.
And one of them was metformin that I was on for 15 years. And no more. My A1C is 5.3.
Wow, that's awesome. So if you guys came in late, this is Cindy. She's from Georgia, and she had stage 3 fatty liver disease. And in 3 to 4 months on the patches, she went from stage 3 to 0. And her doctor has been blown away. So thank you so much, Cindy, for sharing that with us tonight.
You're welcome.
Everyone is going to be so blessed by that, because that's one of the biggest epidemics today is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And a lot of it is from the foods and things we eat, and just all the toxins in our environment and everything. So it's just something that a lot of people are dealing with. So thank you for sharing that. I know that that's going to help a lot of people, and we can't wait to hear from you when you go back again. So if I forget, you reach out to me, and we'll have you back on in a few months and get a new update. But you don't have to go back till May, so won't be much to update. But did you have any experiences with sleeping better or energy or things like that?
Yes, the first night after patching, that week I was starting to sleep better. I did have some. I started doing some detoxing, so I felt great, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Ooh, I'm at a lull." And I talked to Angela, and she goes, "It's okay. You're detoxing. It's good. It's working." So I was like, "All right, I'll get through this." But yeah, and the other thing was my hairdresser, who I've had for 20 years. She said, "I have hair envy." I said, "What do you mean you have hair envy?" She said, "You have thick hair now." And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah." She said, "Your hair looks great." I said, "You hadn't done anything to it yet." And I said, "Well, remember I told you I just started patching. You said you were going to wait and see how I was doing and everything." So it's the patching. And matter of fact, I have a scar in the top of my head from skin cancer, and there's hair growing there.
Wow.
And that surgery was 7 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, she was
That's
just like,
awesome.
"You've got hair growing there."
That's awesome. I have seen some pictures of scars that were like 10 or 15 years old that went away. I mean, it's just amazing what the body will do when you give it this technology and it can start regenerating, the healthy cells that'll go in and heal the body. So thank you again, Cindy, for sharing with us tonight. And then I'm going to
You're
ask on my
welcome.
next guest. I've got to thinking this past week, you guys see us up here hosting all the time, and most of us have, given our testimonies in the past, but it's been a long time.